Hi, welcome to Cynthia and Josie's Unmentionables.
We are so glad you're here with us, and we had such an amazing amount of responses to our last podcast. Thank you all for writing incredible. We had an overwhelming amount of responses to your story in particular that you shared.
Yeah, and you said something the last time when you were talking about burnout on this podcast that kind of resonated with me this whole week, where it's like it was guilt.
It was. I think it was emotional hangover, vulnerability hangover. Vulnerability hangover.
I had a little bit of that this week.
Yeah, where you were feeling like what?
Well, I was so emotional when we did our podcast. I was actually really drained last week when we were recording. Really, I was so drained. And then I felt bad that I shared so much about Cole, but then I realized this is a safe space. It's not his friends that are listening to this podcast. It's a lot of mothers and some dads, right? So
there were so many people who reach out with similar stories, sharing stories of dealing with children with autism, also dealing with elderly parents with dementia, all kinds of sleep, deprivation situations, dealing with people who they love who are going through similar fears of death or, freaking out about something. And so I think that people just saw themselves in your story and made some incredible suggestions. Can I just share this one?
Yeah.
Someone wrote in and said, love your podcast. I listen weekly. This week's episode about anxiety made me stop my car at the side of the road and send this message. And I am never someone to chime in. Josie, your story about your son felt so familiar to me because we have been through pain with my son. He has any doctor mentioned the possibility of PANS/PANDAS? I think that's an acronym for something. Essentially, it's a neuroinflammation caused by a virus that causes a massive uptick of anxiety, tics, OCD thoughts, regressions, restricted eating, and separation anxiety. It's horrendous and all-consuming. My son has gone through this after having strep throat and COVID, and treating the underlying infection and inflammation has helped tremendously. It might be worth researching and mentioning to your pediatrician. It's also more common with kids who have disabilities and underlying immune system disorders. Anything to help our kids, sending support.
So I read that when I was at work and immediately sent that message to my mom, to my sister, to my husband, because it's like, wow, it just hit me. I was like, could that have been what happened? Only because if you listened last week, my son has extreme anxiety, but we have been able to sort of get it. He's on medicine and it's predictable now. I know when he's going to be upset and we've been able to handle it. But, last week we could not handle my son at all. And I didn't understand why it was so severe. And all that lines up. He had a horrible, horrible virus. And his anxiety, as soon as the virus went away, the anxiety went away.
Yeah.
So
there may be something to this.
There may be something to that. And so I'm going to talk to my doctor about it. And oh my God, to the woman who reached out, thank you so much. Thank you. I know she said that she never messages people, but I'm so grateful she did.
We had another incredible message too, and I want to just play right now. It was a really long one where this person shared personal stories that we're not going to share, but this was also really important for us.
Anyways, I really appreciate you both sharing the personal parts of your lives. Me, I would say I'm a highly sensitive person who feels things deeply, and I feel the world really lacks people who are willing to be that way publicly, and so we're left with kind of these surface shallow forms of entertainment, which are also super awesome, right, in their own ways. But I definitely crave the depth and the vulnerability and the sincerity that you guys are willing to share. So thank you, and that's all. I just want to say thank you. I think you guys are amazing.
I could cry.
I know.
Because every once in a while you're doing things and you're just like, oh God, are we chronic overshares? Did we do too much?
And also when we were thinking about doing this podcast, it's like, what should the podcast be? It should be this and this and this. And then we just realized the podcast is just us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just us, right? It's Unmentionables, but it's just our lives.
And we follow our curiosity and we have some great guests. And we appreciate you because you're a part of this community now. And
yes.
I think that that's so important more now than ever. And I'm realizing that every single day. And we're happy that you're along for the journey.
Yeah, we really are.
But I have a story to tell you guys.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think we do.
Are we talking about baseball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, I went to a baseball game this week. It was Josie's birthday
last
weekend.
Yes, yeah.
And so her husband got 4 tickets. And he could have gone. It could have been you and
my
your husband
kids.
and your kids.
Yeah.
But instead, you invited myself, Suzanne, who's been on this podcast, and Heather, who's also part of our friend group.
Yeah.
And the four of us went to the baseball game.
Yeah.
I first will call myself out because immediately when I got there, we went after work, and I realized I was like, someone's described me on social media as the Darth Vader with a bunch of stormtroopers. Because I was wearing all black and a crazy hat, and everybody else had merch.
Blue Jay merch. Yes, we all have it. Yes, you got to wear merch.
My
Come
merch
on.
game was a fail.
I could have lent you some merch.
I know. I didn't realize how in the before times, I feel like when I went to a Blue Jays game, there were a lot of people who wore merch, but not everybody. But this time it was everyone.
Yeah.
So I felt a little bit like
Out of place.
Out of place.
Yeah.
But then,
Like, did you have fun?
Okay, so I had so many things that I want to share with people. I had a great time. We had great seats. We were, first of all, very close to where the pitchers and catchers.
Yeah, we were near the bullpen.
The bullpen.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the outfield, so the Blue Jays bullpen, which was really cool.
And they were practicing, and there's a lot of I mean, I'm just going to be inappropriate, but
Okay.
their bums are strong.
Yeah, they're strong guys.
And thick, sort of thick
Yes.
legs.
And baseball, you can really see that. That's a big baseball thing.
I like their uniforms. I liked
You
it.
like the bodies. Their bodies.
I did. Even the ones that were sort of like a little bit, I don't know, curvier.
Okay, so bad.
I was
That we're
fully
talking about this.
objectifying them, and I
Yeah.
like when they left there and then they went out into the. So there was lots of good people watching to be had there. Who first did what I think a lot of people did, actually 101,000 people did, which was go and order hot dogs.
It was Looney Day, Looney Dog, and it was also the anniversary of the first Blue Jay game ever, which was back in 1977. So the Looney Dogs were actually 77 cents instead. How could I go to the game? And
They were
not-
less than a loony.
They were less than a loony. How could I go to the game and not get hot dogs?
Guess
I
how many
got
she
them.
got? Everyone, just put a number in your mind. How many did Josie buy? You probably didn't guess 4. Did you guess 4?
I bought 4.
How many did you end up eating?
I ate 2.5.
Did you just get to the point where
I was so full. I was like, I can't. The last one, I was just eating the dog. I wasn't even eating the bun. And I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. The poor lineup to get them, though, like the lineup, the guys at the front, it was like this old man who looked like he was 80 and he was bending over to give everyone the hot dogs. And I was like, he needs a massage and I need to give him a huge tip. So I did do that.
Yeah, he was kept leaning in. Yeah,
I gave him a 30% tip because that's all that offers you. And then I realized that's 30% of 77
cents times 4. Times 4. So what was that?
got
I
what,
can't
like,
do the math.
Maybe got $1.
Okay. And then you wanted a blue drink. You had made a beeline for this it was a Blue Jays drink?
Yeah, it's like the rum and lemonade, and it's blue, and it comes in a Blue Jay cup, and it's delicious.
Did you bring the Blue Jay cup home?
No, I left it there.
Well.
I have many of them.
Okay. So it was all going really, really well. We were having a nice time. I obviously don't know a lot about baseball, so Josie was being kind enough to fill me in on a whole bunch of things. I barely understood.
Yeah.
But it was enjoyable, and we
Yeah.
were chitter-chatting.
We were having fun.
But
Then.
there was, do you want to take over the
Sure,
story?
I'll take it. There was a guy. I know if you've been to a Blue Jay game, you know this may have happened to you before, but this one was ridiculous. There was a guy behind us who was really chirping at the Blue Jays and the pitchers when they were warming up to go out. And
Give an example.
Okay, so like we know that Little, if you know baseball, Little has just been moved down to the minors. And unfortunately, Little's had a lot of cases lately where people say his mental health is bad and that he's gone out and he's just kind of ruined the game. I feel for him, but it just hasn't been fun for him.
So he's a pitcher. What's his name? What's his first name?
Brendan Little.
Brendan Little.
Yeah,
Okay.
so so this dude behind us was like screaming to the pitchers who were not Little, saying things like, "Oh, at least you're not Little," and just saying horrible things about the Blue Jays while wearing a Blue Jay shirt.
Yeah, he was. I didn't know what was going on, but he seemed inebriated.
Yes.
And
But right from the beginning of the game, I don't know if he was inebriated. I honestly think that he needed attention.
He didn't. So this, I'm going to say something you're not going to agree with, but to me, my experience of going to any kind of game, Blue Jays or like baseball, hockey, there's always that guy.
I don't disagree with you. There's always a one, right? Wherever you're sitting, but not maybe to that level.
No. So I remember
right.
you turned to me at one point because he kept on going, and it was really annoying because you'd be sitting there chattering, and then all of a sudden you hear.
I also just don't criticize our own team.
No. Well, so what happened was Josie turned to me. She's like, I want to say something. I want to say something. And I was like, don't say anything. Don't engage with him. Nothing good can come out of engaging with him. And so we ignored him a few more times, and then he kept doing it. It was very distracting. And then eventually, I will say to your credit, you engaged, but you engaged in a very gentle way.
Of course.
So
you don't want to
poke the bear?
Fire with fire.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So I just said, excuse me, are you a Blue Jay fan or a Dodgers fan? Because we were playing the Dodgers. And he said, I'm a Blue Jay fan. And I said, well, you don't seem very supportive of our own team. Mm-hmm. That's all I said.
Yep.
And then he was like, that was the fuel for him.
That's all he needed. Then for a while, it was just him being like subtly he was still yelling, but then he was like, good job, guys. Is that supportive enough? Like he was trying to get your attention enough.
Trying to get
like
my
a
attention.
child.
Constantly.
Like a small child.
I just at that point stopped. I didn't even turn around. I in fact had a pretend conversation with my friend beside me so that I pretended like I wasn't listening to him. I was doing everything. But then also everyone else around was sort of starting to get annoyed.
Because that's when misogyny started to creep into this, where it was like he had no other tools in his tool belt. He felt kind of, I guess, ashamed on some level and had no skills to unpack that. I could have helped him with it. I would have gone over and talked to him, but I really didn't have any bandwidth for that.
No.
So he started, then started calling us lesbians.
First he called me honey.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
like, hey, honey. And then he started calling the four of us lesbians.
And then prostitutes maybe too?
Yes. He went to prostitutes, but lesbians first, which I thought was hilarious. Like he's using
good.
lesbian as a negativity.
Exactly.
Like a negative form, which was like, what are you, 1940s? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then from there, he was like the three blind mice when you left to go to the washroom or something. He called us the three blind mice. Then he said, this is a good one. He's like, these women in front of me watched one World Series game and they think they're Blue Jay fans. Like,
and that is again another feature that I've always found. And again, I do not know about sports at all, but you do. You know a shit ton. So it pissed me off for you.
Oh, I know. I probably could have schooled him. I wanted to say, hey, let's get some gloves and we'll throw back and forth and we can see who has a better throw. That's what I wanted to say, but engage.
No,
I'm not going to engage.
You ignored him after that. So then I, of course, because I have an early bedtime at all times, I was like, I've seen enough of this game. I love you, and I'm going to go.
Well, then as soon as you left, our other friend, Suzanne, just started getting into it.
With him.
And I was telling her, Suzanne, stop.
What'd she say?
I turned around, and she was halfway in the conversation. Like, she'd already been speaking to him for a while, so I have no idea, except for I know she was just angry and she was like, you're ruining everyone's experience. I did hear her say that. So then finally I said, it's my birthday. He's like, oh, happy birthday. I was like, it's my birthday. And my husband bought these tickets and they were really, really expensive. And I'm like, and you just ruined my entire experience. And he quickly grabbed $100 bill from his pocket.
No, he didn't.
Like a baller. Yeah. Grabbed $100 bill, waved it in front of me and said, oh, sweetheart, would this little $100 bill make you feel a little better? Still holding on to it. And within 1 second, I grabbed it from him and said, yes, thank you. Put it in my pocket.
No, you didn't.
I did.
What did he do?
Well, so for the first 10 minutes after that, he was laughing at it. Oh, she grabbed that one fast, didn't she? Oh, look at her. Grab my money. Look at, like a good little wifey, just going on and on and on. I ignored. Because I was like,
but you still have this $100 bill.
Everyone around is turning and said, did you take it? I'm like, yeah. Like people I don't know. And they're like, good for you. I want $100. I deserve $100 for listening to his shit. Everyone around now was talking to us. Okay. But I could feel his eyes on me because he wanted that $100 back. I could feel them.
But he didn't know how to do it.
So then he's like, oh, it's almost the ninth inning. Double or nothing. Double. Give me the $100 back. I'll give you $500 if they win because these guys won't win because they're losers. This is all he's saying. And now I'm totally ignoring him. I got my $100. I'm ignoring him.
Oh my God.
So then a guy near us looked at the security, and one of the ladies actually who was protecting the Blue Jays screamed at him and said, "You have to stop," because he was still chirping at the pitchers. And then another guy up above screamed at him and said, "Security's coming." And he's like, "I am doing nothing wrong. I know my rights, blah, 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 blah." He was just going on, and he goes, the security guard's like, "You have no rights." And I'm like, oh, he's going to get kicked out. This is it.
Did he?
Yeah, he got kicked out. The 9th inning, he got kicked out. And then it's just his wife and her friends behind me.
Oh.
And here is what they say.
Oh.
So they said, "That girl," to me, like about me, we could say she stole my husband's money. And then there's like, the other girl goes, "Let's do it. She stole it. So the 3 girls were just like, "Let's tell security this girl stole our money."
I'm so glad I left, but I missed all the
I was
drama.
just like, oh my God, are they going to like fight me for this 100? Like, should I just give it back? I don't want his $100. But then I was like, no, I'm not going to give that $100.
I would have given it back.
No, I didn't give it back. And then I gave it to somebody who was homeless.
Oh,
Because I was like, you know what? Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want his blood money.
No.
I don't want his blood money. I'm going to give it to somebody who actually deserves it.
Love you so much. That is so good.
Because why? I didn't want his money. And what am I going to do with his money? I don't want his stupid money. I felt like it was bad karma to take his money, but someone who really needed it should have had his money.
You know what kind of bugs me about this? I mean, there's so many things that bug me about this. There's a piece of me, because I'm always going to try to find, the empathy that feels bad for a person who grew up and somehow learned that this was an acceptable way. Where does someone learn this? I imagine
Their parents.
Yeah, he has a dad or a grandpa or an uncle or somebody who he raised, and then this is the way that they spoke about other people.
He didn't get any attention because it was all him trying to get attention from everybody.
And like maybe had aspirations to play baseball and maybe sucked at. I mean, I don't know what his full story is.
I don't think that guy even could have ever played.
His name was Dave, by the way. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
How do you know that?
Because I at some point I wrote it down in my notes because I was just like,
his name was Dave.
Uh-huh.
Hey Dave.
Hey Dave.
We're
talking about you.
Yeah.
Yep. I hope he's doing all right. I hope you'd think that maybe he reflected afterwards and thought,
no, he didn't. Those are the people who never learn. They don't learn.
But I guess, and I guarantee you, they're sitting around still talking about you.
Oh, I know. They're going to say the narrative was that I grabbed that $100 as quick as possible, and they're right. I did. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I have won if I take that.
Yes.
Because up until that point, I didn't. When I said to him, who do you? As soon as I engaged with him, I lost. But when I took the $100, I got all my power back. And then the guy beside me was like, "I want $100," and I was like, "Oh my God, this is gonna."
I think the moral of the story, though, is like people do have to check. Like, I've never understand.
Blue Jays are human beings.
Yes,
they're human beings.
And when fandom turns toxic, and I think we've seen that more and more, people have more and more parasocial relationships with any kind of celebrity. Yeah. They believe that they have a right to them. They have more access to them through social media. And the negativity piece, we've gotten into such a weird space. And maybe it's always been there a little bit.
I think it has been there, but we've seen it more through social media.
Yeah.
I think it always has been. I hope that it's stopped more now because of social media. People calling other people out.
But the idea that he thought for like a second, it's just so weird to unpack. Like, you think that by you saying shitty things to people that's going to motivate them? Is that the way that you treat?
I think no. I don't
There's
think
no
he
thinking there?
cares about the Blue Jays. I think that he wants everyone around him to think he's cool because he knows the game and he knows that Little sucks and he's there chirping and everyone's like, "Oh, there."
He must know about it. I mean,
I don't know. He just needed attention. And everyone around him heard him throughout the entire game. He couldn't have just sat there and watched other people get the attention.
It was so much like watching a 5-year-old who just wants any like negative attention is enough because it is attention. And again, a piece of me feels really sad for him because he really, really miscalculated.
And I bet like I stole his last $100, although he probably bought so many beer that.
Oh yeah, he that's okay. And also, if you're waving around $100 bill, like
in a girl's face. Or a man's face, whatever. I was like, I'm grabbing it. It was great.
Okay, so it was really nice also to just do something different. It was nice because I'll be honest, as I'm getting older, I am noticing, and we've maybe talked about this on the show before, that in this Groundhog Day a little bit, where you go to work and you deal with your kids and you make lunches and you have your dinner and then you read a book, go to bed, blah, 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 rinse, repeat. And so
a podcast on a Saturday, go for a walk.
This is my highlight. But like it's rare that I actually do like, oh, I'm going to go out for dinner, or I'm going to try this new thing, or blah, blah, blah. And you and I were talking about this today. In fact, we all got on a group chain after that baseball game.
I said, let's do this more.
Let's do this more. Let's make a standing date once a month where we either like do like golfing, or we go like to an art class together, or we do another like sports thing, because it's more about doing something different. When I was growing up, my parents didn't do things like that, but they always had people over.
Yeah.
And we don't do this. And this is something that I think is becoming more and more common. And I'm wondering why. Why do you think that we've started doing less of these types of things?
I think things are more expensive.
Okay.
I think that we don't drink as much as they did back in the day. Like my parents smoked and drank.
Sure.
So I do think that makes you more social, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It does. I think social media has taken over. So, we see people on social media and then
We feel like we've connected, but we haven't really.
I think we're all doing 8 jobs. So we're all exhausted.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're not a broadcaster back then would have just been doing one job. We're now doing social media for our job, and we're doing blah, blah, blah for our job.
I also think that people's houses were unimpressive in the 80s and 90s,
Sure.
less impressive. And there was an acceptable amount of mess. Like I remember as a kid even going over to some people's houses and just being like, whatever, it's a disaster at this place. But people weren't as precious about it. Like I don't want people over to my house unless I've completely cleaned the whole thing. And so we're in the 80s, maybe my mom was always like that. But anyway, I feel like generally people didn't care as much about that.
I also think we have our kids in more things. I don't think that back in the day, our parents had, like me, I was in drama and my sister was in ballet, but like we weren't, I think now we've almost, we've got our kids in a million things and we're being stretched 3 different locations.
Yeah, we're taking, and we have multiple kids and multiple things. So, and then the
you're
commuting.
exhausted by the night, by night. Like, who's supposed to have a dinner party on a Saturday night after you've been up at 6 a.m. going to swimming?
But if we had like lower expectations about what that should look like, or I don't know, I do think social media is a huge part of it too, and the disappearance of the third space. They talk about that a lot, where we used to have like cafes and bars and even like churches where people would just naturally kind of congregate. And if you live in a community, some people still have this, but I certainly don't. All this to say, it got me thinking, and we were talking about this before, that maybe we need to create something. Like we're kind of tossing this out to you. Mm-hmm. Like, is there something that you would want to do on a monthly or even quarterly basis that we could entice you out to come, like an event? And if you were interested in that, would that event be like where you learn something, or where you get to hang out? Like, is it an art class? Is it a movement thing? Or is it just like a hangout and talk shit about your husband and kids thing?
I like that. And then we meet the husbands 5 months later. No,
some kind of unmentionables.
Yeah.
Unmentionables. Did I say unmentionables?
Yeah, you did. I was like, what?
Don't munch that.
Or like we bring a chef in. And we have like a really cool dinner. Like that would be fun. Like a big long table of women and men if you want. But all of us, we could do, like everyone could stand up, or you don't have to stand up and say something about yourself.
I like this.
And we could get a chef to like try out new food, or like those things don't happen anymore. I mean, there might be a little price tag to that, but I love those.
Send us your ideas about what would bring you out.
Would this be something that you would be into? Because I do think that it's exhausting, like the Blue Jay game, for instance. I'm like, okay, we're going. And then the day of, you're like, okay, we're going. But then when we went,
it's so good.
So great.
Yeah, you have to force yourself.
Great.
It's like, I was going to say it's like the dentist, but it's not like the dentist. It's more like sex, actually.
It is like
it's
sex.
like, okay, I don't know if I'm really in the mood.
God,
but
it was a Monday. We went on a Monday. It's like, we're going out till 11 p.m. on a Monday night. How am I going to function the next day? But guess what? We did. We functioned.
But if we have an event, we will not have it on a Monday.
No, we will not.
No, we will not.
We'll do like a Thursday or Friday.
Yeah,
night.
exactly.
Or Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. You let us know. And in the meantime, we do
even like 1 week of I am getting excited.
Oh, book club.
1 week of a book club. We could all read the same book, but it doesn't have to be a full book club. It could be like a naughty book.
Yes.
And we can all get together.
Yes.
Or it could be a really fun dinner with a chef, because we could definitely do that.
It could also be
What?
a sound bath.
No.
Come on. Let me get one wellness thing.
You know what? I have, in my husband's work, I do have a sauna upstairs.
Okay.
Right?
At least some of us could dip out and go in a sauna or something. But a sound bath, I'm telling you, if people need to feel good, there is unquestionably like to go and like lie down on mats, have someone come up to you and just kind of like
What are they going to touch me?
Yeah, a little bit, or just like
I don't have to do the touching. Do
no,
I? Okay.
you don't have to do any touching. You get scents and like I will tell you the moment I know I talk about othership too much, but the moment I even just smell othership, I'm like Pavlovian. I have a Pavlovian response where I just immediately feel like 10 times calmer, 10 times more relaxed.
Oh, and okay, so let's do that. But you know what I will say is that, like at work, we do trips. So like Marilyn Dennis is doing Breakfast in Barbados right now, and we do these trips. You've come on one of them where it was like Password to Paradise, and when you are in like in an all inclusive, and you know 40 people in the same all inclusive, the community it's just actually a lot more fun. So if we got
A retreat going?
well, no, I mean,
let's go to
small,
Costa
but if we
Rica.
had, like, no, but if we had 40 people, starting off small, doing small things. So it's like first we all hang out and we, you know, do like just the first one could be wine or whatever at in office. The second one could be a dinner. Third one could be touching or whatever the fuck you want to do.
I want to touch.
But then by like year 2, we could all do a vacation together and stuff.
I am so into this idea,
You know?
guys.
If we like
Build
each other,
community.
if we all like each other.
Community, we get to hang, we get to share stories. You guys have shared so much
together, guys.
Oh my God, who are you right now? Now you're speaking my language. A river cruise?
We don't have to bring the family.
Guys, no
It could
kids.
just be girls. And some guys.
And some guys. That's
I keep saying
yeah,
to the guys.
I know, yeah.
I know Cleve is out there and he listens
and we
to us
love
all the time.
Yeah, and
we love him.
Cleve, you sent such great suggestions of like
You can
books.
come,
and
Cleve, you can come
Cleve, you
with
can
us.
come. We feel like you can hang.
Yeah.
Dave cannot come.
Dave, the drinker at the Blue Jay game, cannot come.
No, you're not invited.
Anyway,
I love this idea
but
too.
I don't want to start it if nobody's interested.
No, exactly. We
Like,
want to hear your feedback. Always email us at hello@Cynthia and Josie. You've been sending great messages also on our Instagram.
And thank you. Cole's doing better. Everyone's asking how he's doing. He is doing so much better. He's still a bit worried about that he's gonna, you know, regress back into what last week was like, but he's doing better.
And actually, I reached out after we recorded last week to my niece because I mentioned her on the podcast, and I was like, I mentioned you, and I'm just not sure if you're okay with it. And she's like, oh my gosh, talk about it all you want. She said we need to destigmatize.
Yes,
I'm gonna get emotional even just right now saying that.
I love that.
I just think it's so true. You have to we do need to. I still feel it even post burnout that people talk about me when I'm not in rooms. Oh, she's the girl at burnout.
Yep.
And you know what? Fucking pissed. Like I go from being emotional about it to being also pissed off about it because I actually think I'm a better human, partner, employee, all of the things because I've gone through something and figured my way out.
And you've done it publicly. And I will say everyone has shit. They're just all the time. They're not speaking about it.
And also, I've seen people's anxiety unattended to come out in such crazy ways that we accept. Anger, horrible behavior, backstabbing, like all of the things, they are manifestations of oftentimes an anxious personality who's deeply insecure. And that can come out in ways that we just kind of like shrug our shoulders. The fact that I took some time off it was a better solution than any of those things.
Absolutely.
So we do need to have more of these conversations, and we thank you guys all for listening as always.
Thank you.
Departure Fest. Did we mention it again?
Oh yeah,
Please.
if you come to Departure Fest, then we can talk about like these other events. So then maybe we can see you in person. Please come.
Yes.
We've got a really cool
plan. And we don't want to give everything away. Tickets are going fast, so get your tickets now. If you have any questions about that, again, just email us or we'll put a link in the show notes.
There is a link in our bio on Instagram already there, but we'll put it in the show notes as well.
Get them soon.
Yeah, and we'll see you May 8th.
Bye.